Actually really try to reason the Nigerian problem. And I keep on telling people whenever I sit down and discuss with friends, I always say we are not any different from people from United States or United Kingdom. The same human beings who have the capacity to commit all sorts of crimes. You may say people commit big crimes, little crimes, people cheat on their taxes and all that. The problem we have in our country is accountability. People are not held accountable for their actions or inaction. I look at just a simple situation. You're a traveler, go to Murtala Mohammed Airport, and you see the madness going on there. People jumping queues, whatever.
Okay, that's right.
But that plane takes off, that aircraft, and it lands in the UK or in the US. You see the same human beings behaving themselves. They're standing in line, they're following the process. Just 6 hours. So you ask yourself, what's going on? What's the mindset? You realize that it's our country, it's here. I believe I can get away with murder. I believe I can do whatever I want and get away with it. People go into governance and they steal money. They steal more money that they don't need, because you can only sleep on one bed, you can only live in one house, you can only drive one car at a time. But the idea is stealing exceedingly is, I need to settle EFCC when the time comes. I need to settle police when the time comes.
So you amass all of those.
You amass all the wealth. Now, if we are not able to make people accountable for their actions, then it will be very difficult for us to really move in the right direction. We talk about making politics, make it not to enrich yourself. That's where sometimes I think about the parliamentary system, where you have to have a job. You have to have a permanent job you do. You come to Abuja maybe every quarter to pass laws, and then you go back to your job. You're given an allowance, maybe the amount of money you're given to house you, to fly you, to feed you during that time. And that's all you get. Yeah. Now, of course, it's going to be difficult to do, but to me, it's a way of saving the country money. I keep on wondering who will come in and say, listen, let's fix our judiciary. Let's make it difficult for people to steal and get away with it. If we don't do that, it's going to be difficult for us to change the mindset. Because corruption is not just on the top. It permeates all the way down to the small man. I was a deputy governor. I know. I have staff that weren't interested in working. I approve for them to go and buy a Samsung AC, for instance. They go in and buy Polystar because it's cheaper. That's not what I paid for. That's not what I approved. But as a deputy governor, I'm not going to go to the market to buy ACs. No, that's not my job. My job is just to approve. But they want to go and steal because nobody will ask. Nobody cares.
And that's the culture of politics that we play.
That's the same thing. It's the same human beings.
It's okay. We have just
we probably need behavioral
change. That's going to be a long-term process.
But it begins again with the politicians.
Because no, they can't. They're the ones that are supposed to change. But they're the ones that are supposed to change. How are they going to change? Somebody else needs to say, no, you must behave. You must behave, you must comport yourself in this manner if you find yourself in a position. How do we do that? I don't know. I keep on asking, maybe the historians will look in the history.
How did you do your own? How did you
I came in with office. It was innate.
Mindset.
I have a family. My father said, don't go in the government. My father worked for NEPA, then for NTA,
and that's why we brought you for this conversation, so that you can be
no, it's a mindset. But you see, it doesn't mean that I am perfect. If you get stopped on the street and a policeman stops you to produce your papers and give that man 1,000 naira, you're part of the corruption process. The point I'm saying is that we must create opportunity where people, when you steal, you get into trouble.